The movie Clash of the Titans showed us how awesome the monsters of Greek mythology could be. Unlike the ones from Percy Jackson and the Olympians, these creatures were deadlier and had no mercy. Their design and CGI portrayals were also top-notch, embarrassing the rest of the competition. The franchise now spans 3 movies, a video game and many comics. But in this video we shall only focus on the ones from the movies and games. If there are some who are confused about the fact that I said 3 movies, then I should tell you that there was a movie created in 1981 called Clash of the Titans, and the 2010 movie was just its remake. Now that we have that cleared up, let's get to the 15 monsters and creatures of Clash of the Titans franchise. Number 15, the Stygian Witches. In Greek mythology, the Stygian Witches are 3 old women that know almost everything about the future. They are blind, but they could see through a shared mystical eye, which they put near their ocular holes. They are seen in the 2010 remake in another fashion style, looking more like mummies than humans. They have a human body, but with the faces that possess no distinguishable features, other than their mouths. They are draped in very old clothing and are hunched in posture, but are very agile and powerful, with the only weakness is their eye that they possess. And when standing straight, they are 6 feet tall. Number 14, the Furies. The Furies in the movie as well as in Greek mythology were flying minions of Hades. They were seen as having bat-like wings, but in the game, they were seen with feathers. In the 2010 movie remake, they take the shape of medium-sized black-skinned humanoid bats. They first appeared when they burst out of the water and start attacking the soldiers who were pushing the giant statue of Zeus. They then combined into a massive sphere and destroyed Pyrrhus' fishing ship. Later, more of these bat-like furies begin to follow and attack Perseus and the Pegasus in order to steal Medusa's head. Although powerful, they are easily killed with a single sword swipe that could slice off their wings. And also they were of human size. Number 13, the Minotaur. This creature is a ferocious combination of man and beast. In the myths, a long time ago, Poseidon gifted King Minos of Crete with a snow-white bull, but when Minos failed to sacrifice it as a sign of respect to the god, Poseidon caused the king's wife to fall in love with the alluring creature, and their spawn took shape as a powerful bull-headed barbarian. This was the Minotaur. It had red glowing eyes and thick coarse hair that covered its body. The Minotaur also had grey skin and, of course, 2 large horns. The Minotaur can influence on its victims for them to see images and hear voices of their loved ones inside the labyrinth. It was the size of a human but had superhuman strength. Number 12, the Jinn. The Jinn were portrayed as ancient sorcerers who lived in the desert. They replaced their organs and limbs with dark magic and ash, and were the only ones who could tame the giant scorpions. They are impervious to the stare of the gorgons that turn people to stone, most likely because their lack of flesh and blood, as they are in essence nothing more than spirits inhabiting a false body. Overall, they played a big role in the movie, first saving Perseus and the survivors of the god from the wrath of the scorpions, and then later weakening Medusa. They also helped quicken their journey by allowing them to travel on the giant scorpions. These jinns were taller than most humans at around 7 feet in height. Number 11, the Pegasus. The Pegasus in Greek mythology was the son of Poseidon and Medusa. He was born from his mother's neck after Perseus slayed her. Pegasus appears both in the 1981 film and also in the 2010 remake just before Medusa's death, not following the original myth. Although the original color of Pegasus was white, as in the Greek mythology, he is seen as black in the 2010 movie remake. In the original myths, Pegasus and Bellerophon fought against the Chimera and was not connected with Perseus in any way. The creature is a dashing black horse that possesses 2 gigantic eagle-like wings, and its size is often portrayed as the size of a tall stallion, more than 7 feet tall at the head. Number 10, Charon. The boatman, or also known as Charon, in Greek mythology is the ferryman of Hades, who carries souls across the river Styx to Erebus, or the underworld. In the 1981 and the 2010 film, the Death Boat takes Perseus along with 3 men to Medusa's lair, in which the hero takes off her head in order to defeat the Kraken. A coin to pay the Charon for passage. It was sometimes placed in or on the mouth of a dead person, but in the 2010 remake, the headman of the Jinn throws the coin into the water and then he appears. Charon, in the 2010 movie, is seen as an integral part of the boat, and he was like a woody skeleton mummy figure that was anywhere between 8 to 9 feet tall. Number 9, the MAKHAI. The MAKHAI in Greek mythology are the gods or spirits of battle and combat. The MAKHAI skin has a charred and corroded look and their faces look slightly deformed. There are lines of lava on the MAKHAI skin. Both of the heads wear a helmet, but the head on the right wears a helmet with a plume and is less muscular than the left head. The MAKHAI skin seems to be made of volcanic rock. They have two upper bodies attached by the backs with two heads. The MAKHAI's weapons of choice are four short blade swords, two in each hand, which they use by spinning and changing the side as they are facing constantly in battle. These battle spirits of the Titans are 8 to 9 feet tall. Number 8. The Chimera. The Chimera is an amalgamation of multiple creatures. It has two heads, a pair of colossal wings, and a tail equipped with a serpent's head. It is known to rely on teamwork between its two heads, as one of the heads throws the fuel and the other one ignites and generates a superheated breath, which ignites in mid-air. In the Wrath of the Titans, the Chimera is among the plethora of creatures unleashed by Hades into Earth. A horde of chimeras is unleashed near Perseus' village, and at least one of them targets Perseus' village and wreaks havoc, killing and burning whoever comes on its way. This beast was around 20 to 30 feet long and had a long tail with a snake's head at the tip. Number 7. Medusa. Medusa in Greek mythology was a woman cursed with those glare that had a power to transform men into stone statues. But in the movie, she and her sisters were once beautiful maidens, full of promise and hope. Medusa was the goddess Athena's prized priestess until Medusa was raped by the sea god Poseidon. Medusa and her two sisters were then turned into the Gorgons by Athena, and she was banished from the world of man despite her innocence in the whole ordeal. In the 2010 movie, Medusa had the body of a woman and a beautiful face with snakes as dreadlocks. Aside from this, her lower body was that of a gigantic serpent, easily over 40 feet long. Number 6. The Skeleton King. The Skeleton King is a colossal monster guarding the gates of Medusa's lair. The Skeleton King is able to release massive beams of unknown purple energy from his mouth. This creature is only seen in Clash of the Titans, the video game, which is a hack and slash action-adventure game based on the 2010 film Clash of the Titans. The Skeleton King was seen as a huge monster over 30 feet tall, and his body was made up of giant bones that protrude outwards and inwards, and most certainly in all directions. His head was that of a big humanoid having three conjoined eyes that glowed blue in color. Its mouth was lined with sharp teeth and had two collarbones stacked up against its face like a stag's antlers. Number 5. The Cyclops. These foul, fearsome creatures called Cyclops are a breed of cannibal giants endowed with brute strength and a single eye in the middle of their foreheads. So powerful are these primitive monsters that Uranus imprisoned them in an underworld abyss where they were guarded by a dragon, and so goes the myth about them. In the movie, there are three main Cyclops in the Wrath of the Titans, and they are 30 feet tall. When the navigator led Perseus, Andromeda and the soldiers to a hidden island by using Poseidon's trident, at their arrival they encountered traps laid by the Cyclops, which led to a prolonged battle that ended in the Cyclops helping the protagonist towards reaching the lair of the god Hephaestus. Number 4. Scorpions. These gigantic scorpions have no real root in Greek or Arabic mythology and were most probably original concept of the movie, and they were nonetheless amazing. They differ from both movie versions as they differ in proportion, as the scorpions of the 1981 film were at most the size of a human in height. In the 2010 remake, we see a bigger type of scorpion, with most of them over twice or thrice the size of a human and move much faster. In the 1981 film, Perseus along with his men fought against 3 scorpions that attacked them while they were asleep. In the 2010 remake, they fight a total of 6, with the biggest one appearing at the end and is easily over 50 to 60 feet long and more than 15 feet tall. Number 3. The Sandworm. The next monster is called the Sandworm, and it is a colossal creature appearing in Clash of the Titans, the video game. It appeared at Quest 29 Into the Fire as the final part of the sequence in a boss battle, although only half of its body is seen out of the ground. In the most part of the battle, we don't know if it had multiple heads or if the main one was huge and a few smaller ones kept on resurfacing in the battle. It had spikes on its skin that we know that was heavily segmented, and these spikes were mainly for movement underground. Its mouth was lined with multiple jaws, and it can spew out greenish acidic spit as ranged weapons. We can only assume that its total length to be over 100 feet long. Number 2. The Kraken. On contrary to popular belief, the Kraken was in fact a mythological creature and sea monster of Scandinavian origin and not of Greek myths. It is a monster of tremendous size of strength said to exist off the coast of Norway and Greenland. But in the movie, the Kraken appears as an adversary of Perseus. The movie narrator explained that Hades created it to slay the Titans. Unlike the squid portrayals of earlier movies, this Kraken had tentacles but with an upper body of a humanoid appearance that had muscular arms and crab-like legs. The Kraken was released onto Argos to destroy it, but Perseus slayed it with Medusa's head that turned it into stone. This Kraken was titanic in size, easily over 400 feet tall. Number 1. KRONOS. This monster is the king of the Titans and the father of the gods. In Wrath of the Titans, KRONOS' physical form is composed of lava and molten rock with lines of lava surrounding his body, mouth and eyes, which would suggest that the inside part of his body is also completely composed of volcanic lava. He is capable of projecting massive waves of lava from his arms, which would constitute his ranged attack. It is also seen that KRONOS can spawn hordes of MAKHAI from his very own flesh and also from Tartarus. Both the MAKHAI and the Chimeras are seen to be affiliated to KRONOS rather than Hades in the movie. This monster is truly a titan, dwarfing the Kraken, and it was 4 times its height, at more than 1600 feet tall. And so with that we come to the end of the list of the creatures and monsters of the Clash of the Titans movie franchise, and also the games. Do hit the subscribe button for more videos like these.